Okay, so you have add to cart events that aren't tracking. Sometimes you might be going, but do I even really need them? And if you're thinking that, then you probably don't. So we don't know how much data you have in the various flows of your site when we look at this stuff programmatically with the audit tool. But if you do need them and you think they should be tracking, or you do need them and you don't think they should be tracking, but you need to do the work, here's what you got to do. The first thing you do is you make sure that you have a data layer in place, which is some code that your engineers put on the page that describes what the properties are of a product that gets added to cart, its price, its quantity, its ID, those sort of things. Then you take Google Tag Manager and it reads that data layer and sends the data to Google Analytics. You can have errors if that code doesn't render appropriately on the site, or if that code renders but the page that you're adding the product to cart from loads before that code properly and fully renders or is recognized by Tag Manager. So that's a place of common errors. You're going to have errors in Google Tag Manager. You have an old Universal Analytics form data layer. It was slightly custom at that point, and now you've got a GA4 one, and now it's not working. So something like that might be the case. Then you can also have settings. You could have filtering settings in GA4, but more often it's that you're missing a piece of required information, and so GA4 ignores the event. The fastest way to get these things in place is not to send a link over to the engineering team and say, here's the Google Docs, talk to me when they're done. The fastest thing to do is to take analytics engineer and web development or app development engineer and put them in a room together, a virtual room to test and work together. Sometimes the engineering folks don't love that, but it's the fastest way to make progress and get things done right the first time and get on to doing the most important things, which is learning after you get the data tracked. So that's the efficient way to do this. If you're working with a team that's suggesting it to do another way, just know that you're in for longer roads than you necessarily have to have.